Okay.
Wayne's World 3, 2, 1. You're good. We're here today at Lakewood Brewery in Garland, Texas with Wim Bens. So Wim, what do you do here?
I'm the founder and president of Lakewood Brewery.
Founder and president, all right.
Sir.
How long y'all been open here?
We've been, well, we count our birthday as the day that we sold our first keg of beer. So
Okay.
we've been selling beer. It'll be 17 months tomorrow.
All right, solid. And what was that first beer?
We had two beers that we came out initially. One of them was Rock Rider, our American Rye wheat beer, and the other one was Hop Trap, our Belgian IPA.
Hop Trap, Belgian IPA. So Belgian. I've heard that you've got a little Belgian background.
I got a little Belgian in
What's
me.
that about?
I was born in Belgium. I'm 100% Belgian, whatever that means. But yeah, I was born in Belgium, and my family moved here when I was 7. We moved to North Texas, and you know, just really stayed in North Texas, and went to school up here, and you know, started a career in advertising up here, and got kind of disenchanted with that, and was really into beer. Beer was my hobby. I was a home brewer for a long time, and you know, it just grew and grew and grew, and eventually led to a brewery.
All right, solid.
Great, and in that regard, so we're up here in Garland,
Mm-hmm.
and the brewery's called Lakewood. Where
Right.
did that come from?
Right. So it started, you know, like any home brewery, you start in your garage.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
I live in Lakewood, which is east part of Dallas. It's a very artistic part of Dallas. It's got a lot of older homes.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of young families, a lot of really artistic people. And that's, you know, that's kind of where it started, and we loved the name because it was, you know, Lakewood to us is something that's really inclusive. You know, it's neighborly, it's a nice tight knit community, and it's friendly. And you know, those are things that I think we embody as the brewery, and we want to convey. And we're still very, very close to Lakewood. We found a location as close as we could. We're about 4 miles away.
Right.
So there weren't a lot of industrial parks in Lakewood, so we got as close as we
Yeah,
could.
you got to take what you can get. But,
Exactly.
in that regard, yeah, you definitely kind of kept some of that together with the mythology of the Lakewood area.
Yeah, yeah.
So I know you all have started this legendary series. Tell us a little bit about what's behind that.
Yeah, so we have the way we kind of do our beers is we have 3 or 4 buckets. We have our year-round bucket, which is Temptress, Rock Rider, Hop Trap, and Lager, and then we have our seasonals. We have a pumpkin pie seasonal in the fall. We have bourbon barrel Temptress in the winter, Till and Toil in the spring, which is our spring saison, and then Zomer, which is a Belgian-style Pilsner for the summer. But then we have what we call our legendary series, and our legendary series are one-off beers. They're one and done. And it allows never to be made again. They become legends in their own right after they're no longer available. So the way that we kind of came up with this is we wanted the legendary beers to either tell the story of a local or a Belgian legend. So the first one that we did was Bravo's Cut, and this was a Belgian Dark Strong made with local honey. One of our brewers, Jason, his family has some beehives right here in Garland. So we used 50 pounds of honey from those hives to make this beer.
I did not realize that was that type of connection with it.
Yeah, definitely. So, you know, people talk about local honey. This was made about a mile that way and about 3 miles that way, so you couldn't get much more local. But this tells the legend of Bravo. And Bravo, so it's the story of how Antwerp got its name. There's Silvius Bravo and Durian Antigoon, and it's a David and Goliath story. And Bravo is the David in our story. He's the Roman soldier who defeats Antigoon the giant who's guarding the river. So this was our first one, and now, coincidentally, coming up, our 4th in the series is going to be Antigoon's Revenge.
Okay, that was going to be one of my questions.
Yeah, so
what's coming next?
So that'll be Antigoon's Revenge is coming up. That's a Belgian golden strong ale, and we put a little bit of cherrywood smoked malt in there. So it's got some really nice smoky undertones to go with this really, really big beer. It's going to be about 12% beer. So we're very, very excited about that. But since we're close to Lakewood and since we're close to the lake, you know, we also want to pay homage to our neighborhood. So the first one we did in that regard is La Dame du Lac. La Dame du Lac is French for Lady of the Lake. We're a couple of miles from White Rock Lake. So we definitely wanted to see if there were any legends around that. So this is a Lady of the Lake legend with White Rock Lake, and so is Goatman, a lesser known legend around. Nobody knew what that was. We're like, Goatman, what? Goatman's kind of a fun one too. He's a half man, half goat, animal, beast, mythological creature that lives around the banks of White Rock Lake, and he's known to roam the banks at dusk. And if you go through his domain, he will throw trash and tires in your direction. So if you look at our little Goatman icon, he's definitely holding a tire and a beer. So the inspiration to this was to sort of take two beer styles and combine them into one. And one of our other brewers, Sean, he's from Southern California, did some time at Stone. He wanted to make a black IPA. So in order to make this two beers, we took a black IPA and used a lager yeast for it. So it's almost a mix between a Schwarzbier and a black IPA. So that's our Goatman. That's the two beers that we've put together for it.
The goat and the man.
The goat and the man in that beer, exactly. So, but yeah, once they're done, they're done. And it keeps us fresh. It keeps us trying to innovate new styles or try to research older styles and try to bring those to beer lovers in the community. La Dame du Lac was a beer de garde, not a very popular beer style, but we said, hey, let's just do it, try it out, and they've all been great so far.
And one other thing with these, they've got a good price on them. I can usually find all three of these for under $10.
Yeah.
And, for a one and done type of beer that seems a little out of its shell, I guess.
Right.
So what made you go towards that pricing level?
Well, we want to make sure that beer's accessible.
Absolutely.
It does us no good to make a $15 beer that 20 people are going to drink, and it's just going to be sitting on the shelf. The beer's not going to get any better with age.
Right.
And we want to get it out to as many people as possible. So we want to make it accessible. We want to make sure that a lot of people who aren't necessarily craft beer fans or just getting into craft beer have the opportunity to say, okay, well, I'm not going to bet the farm on that beer, but
right.
$8-9, I'm going to pick it up, see what it's like, and kind of broaden their beer horizons and just kind of share that love.
I think that's something that y'all have been very successful with, and I have a lot of friends and family who are just starting to get into craft beer, and I definitely have turned them on to some of your styles, and especially a lot of people will look at something like the Temptress,
right.
dark and strong, but it's made in a way that's definitely accessible, and that I think that can be drinkable to someone with that kind of more undeveloped palate that's just new to these flavors. So
yeah.
I've had a lot of success, I think, with your beers. They're all very, very clean and accessible for that.
Thanks. That's what we aim to do. We want everyone to try our beer.
So speaking of that Temptress, y'all done some different versions of it.
We do,
including this one.
Yeah. So Bourbon Barrel Temptress. This is the first year that we've bottled it. This actually has water in it. Every single drop goes out to the market. Yeah, Bourbon Barrel Temptress is sort of the feather in our cap for the year. We make it at the end. It takes about half a year to make. So we brew it in July and August, and we just brew up a really good batch of Temptress, and then we age it in bourbon barrels. And this year we had about 30 bourbon barrels that we aged in. They're Bullet bourbon barrels. Bullet's a good. One of our favorite bourbons around here, so we're lucky to get those barrels, and it's such a big beer to start with that aging it in some oak and aging it with some whiskey or with some bourbon really just brings out a lot of different flavors. You get a little bit of that bourbon flavor, you get some of the vanillin from the oak, you get a little bit of the char from the oak, which already kind of complements the dark roasted malts that are in Temptress. I mean, it's just a beautiful marriage of spirits and beer just coming together and making this really, really awesome beer. So we're very, very proud of this beer. It's a labor of love. We baby it for 6 months. And every step of the way, we're like, okay, don't screw anything up because we only got one shot at this. So this was the first year that we bottled it. Craig, who's our events, promotions, marketing guru, he did the label for it. It's a very, very, very pretty label with the lady there on the end.
Is that any specific lady by chance, or?
It's. I like to think of that it's my wife, but it's not. It's Craig's wife. Yeah, so we, it's no one in particular, but we love her just the same.
Well, and it's been, I'm sure, a busy and fast-flying 17 months for y'all. So,
yeah.
What lots of growth, lots of new beers coming out. Y'all have been very creative and innovative. Lots of one-off casks I see all the time.
Yeah.
What kind of motivates you all to kind of mix it up that way? And I mean, there's casks all the time.
Yeah. I mean, beer's supposed to be fun, and we like to have fun with what we make. So, Temptress is one of those. Not to keep talking about Temptress, but Temptress is just one of those beers that lends itself really well to different flavors.
Right. I know I had the root beer one time.
Yeah, we've done a root beer one. We've done the Sin Mint, which is Temptress with fresh mint. We've done a mole cask of Temptress, which is very popular. I think the most popular one is the French Quarter Temptress.
Right.
It's chicory root and noble coyote coffee, espresso actually. So it really plays well again with what Temptress is to begin with.
Yeah.
And just a little hint of coffee in there, a little of that chicory root. It's a beautiful, beautiful beer. For Valentine's this year, we're actually going to be doing a raspberry Temptress.
Ah, yes, I did.
Can you mail that to wherever?
It'll be draft
somewhere
only
on the East Coast. I was lucky enough to get some last Valentine's. So
well, we're doing a 30-barrel batch of it this time.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so
okay.
it'll be widely available for Valentine's. So I think it's Temptress and Valentine's. I mean, what could be better, right?
Most definitely. So I know you mentioned the next Legendary series coming out.
Yeah.
Aside from beer itself, what can we expect to see from Lakewood over the next year?
We're expanding. We've done 3 expansions in this building since we've opened. We've upped our capacity about 3 times so far.
Right.
So in this building we have about a 10,000 barrel annual capacity, but we just got the site next door, so we'll be putting up a building the same size, but it'll be twice as tall. Be able to put 120, 240, up to 300 barrel tanks in there. Eventually a new brew house, brand new tasting room, beautiful expanded tasting room, 30-foot bar, 13, 14 taps on that bar. So it's going to be a really cool, welcoming space for not just for the tours, but for other events, parties, weddings, the stuff that we like to do as well.
Do you think with the expansion you'll be producing more of the staple beers, the non-seasonals, or are you going to use it to kind of expand the selection as well?
With all the beers that we do currently, we're just trying to keep up.
Right.
So it's always hard to kind of sneak in a beer or to bring on a whole new line or a whole new brand. So we're just gonna, it's been 17 months of just taking it one day at a time, and we'll just keep doing that. And if it works, it works, and if it doesn't, we'll just keep making the beer that we already do.
Well, I'd say it's definitely working. I think Dallas definitely was ready for these new breweries coming in, and we're definitely excited to have y'all here, and we really appreciate you coming out.
Yeah, we definitely appreciate you having an interview with us here today.
Happy to do it.
I guess we'll catch you on the flip side when we're
I look forward to seeing those new facilities when we come back. So
well, safe travels, gentlemen.
Prost.
Skål.
Skål, yes.
Oh, look at that. We got a little Belgian flag going with the red and the yellow and the black. Oh, there you go. Look at that. All right. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone. Till the next one.